Hey gang, Nighttiger is having a contest. He wants us to show him our A box. Not our best box, not where we keep our top books, but our books that start with the letter A. And this is actually my A box, and it's been my A box since I was about 15. And I drew this Aliens versus Animal Man cover, or whatever, top lid. And yes, all the boxes that I had when I was a teenager have drawings on the lids, and some of them are atrocious. That one needs more black, clearly. Let's start into it. We got an Action Comics coverless number 270. Oh, it's only from 1960. Action Comics 356, pretty beat up, and pen on it. Action 427. The Man Who Never Lived. Action 440, Superman being disowned by his ghost parents. Action 496, The Giant Superman. I guess that's Candor. Maybe it's not. Action 497, I think I have numerous copies of this now. Action 498. How could it be? Clark Kent is looking at Superman doing something. I've never seen that before. Ooh, a Whitman variant. So I have no idea what the number is. 523. Some sort of pile of goo. Action Comics 556. Superman guilty. Action Comics 596 versus Orion. Little dirty there. It's in the best condition. Action Comics 587 versus the Demon. I swear, John Byrne just plugged the Superman titles full of Kirby characters so that Kirby would get the royalties. Action 596 with the Spectre. All the people in Smallville are dead. Action 600. You got Superman smooching with Wonder Woman. You got Lex Luthor all fat and bald. Superman versus Man-Bat. A Superman Oscar. The weekly action. Don't we all love the weekly action? I actually do. 603. Action Comics Weekly 604, with everyone's favorite Wild Dog. Action Comics 607 with the Secret Six. Action Comics 609 with Black Canary burning that god-awful uniform and going back to the fishnets. Action Comics Weekly 612, more Secret Six. Action Comics 613 with Nightwing. Action Comics 614 with a nice Mike Mignola Green Lantern. Action Comics Weekly 615 with more Wild Dog. Action Comics Weekly 616 with a nice Alex Toth Blackhawk. Action Comics 620 with more of the Secret Six. I don't think that the Secret Six sold any comics, but whatever. Action Comics Weekly 621 with a Joe Orlando Blackhawk. Action Comics 647, and yes, someone has cut a hole in the cover. Action Comics 662, the beginning of the end of Superman as we know him. The whole point of Superman was that Lois Lane was in love with Superman, and Clark Kent was in love with Lois Lane, and Lois Lane hated Clark Kent. Now that she knows that Clark Kent is Superman, the strip ends. Supergirl in Action Comics 674, Panic in the Sky Prologue. Action Comics 675, Action Comics 676, with a not great 90s style Superman. Doesn't even have the mullet yet, though. Action Comics 684 with a Doomsday Fight cover. Action Comics 685 with what? Supergirl with the... it doesn't matter. Action Comics 686, Funeral for a Friend, Part 6. Action Comics 687 with a nice die-cut cover. You open the cover to find out who the fake Superman is. Action Comics 688 with... what's his name? The Eradicator fighting Guy Gardner. Action Comics 689 with all the different Supermen being watched by... I think it's actually Superman? Is it? I don't know. I can't remember. Action Comics 690 with the Eradicator taking on some army, the U.S. Army. Action Comics 691 with Superman flying fast enough so that you don't see his mullet. I'm sure that the artist was embarrassed to draw that mullet. Action Comics 692. An okay Clark Kent revealing his Superman identity. You know. Action Comics 693 with a... I think that's Supergirl in her blob form or whatever it was. Action Comics 694 with Superman being bitch slapped. I don't know who that is. Action Comics 695 with a foil cover, a guest appearance by Lobo. It was truly the 90s. Action Comics 696, Superman in space with a mullet. Action Comics 697 with a bizarro tussle. Action Comics 698 with Superman holding in his laser vision a la Cyclops, I guess. Action Comics 699 with Superman with a forgettable cover. Action Comics 701 with Superman fighting some sort of Kryptonian armor thing. Action Comics 702 with Bloodsport. Yes, they had run out of blood-related names in the 90s. Action Comics 703, a 0-hour crossover. Lois dissolving into the whiteness. And Action Comics 704, he's fighting like Old Man Eradicator. The Power of Warlock number 6. This is my A box, but it is also, I just jam books into different boxes sometimes, because I gotta jam books into different boxes. Brat Pack number 1, a great iconic cover by Rick Veitch. Banana Sunday number 2. I think I got this for free in an eBay lot or something like that. Banana Sunday number 3. Again, I don't know what this is. Ooh, All-Star Batman and Robin number 1. The Robin cover. Cheval Noir number 27 with a Kelly Jones cover. Death, the High Cost of Living number 1. This must be a double. I don't really know why it's in here. Omega the Unknown versus Electro number 3. Negative Burn number something or other. I don't know. More Action Comics 705. Superman disposing of a Superman or something. Action Comics 708 with an okay looking Supergirl, I guess. Action Comics 707 with another 90s villain that has no name and no one cares about. Action Comics 708, with Superman tied up with Mr. Miracle. Fan favorite now, Mr. Miracle. Everyone loves Mr. Miracle now. Action Comics 709, which bizarrely is an homage to one I just showed, where the Eradicator is fighting Guy Gardner, and now it's Superman fighting Warrior. Who would give a crap? Action Comics 710, with Lois Lane being blowed up. Action Comics 711, another pose. Oh, he's fighting the what's that guy's name? What's that dude's name? Action Comics 712, with Superman trying to lift a piece of machinery a la Spider-Man. Action Comics 703, with a bloody Superman thing on that guy's chest. Action Comics 714, a nice Joker-ized Superman cover. It's got the J instead of an S. Action Comics 715, with Parasite, I guess. He's purple, it must be Parasite. Action Comics 718, with the Chain Gang. Action Comics 717, The Trial of Superman. It's a wanted poster, but with Superman, isn't that enticing? Action Comics 718 with Demolition. Action Comics 720, a lone ring on a white cover. The engagement is off. Good. Superman in Action Comics, annual number 7. Year 1. They did a whole annual year of year 1s to try to leech off the success of Batman Year 1. Ooh, Advanced Dungeons and Dragons number 5 with some sort of elf chick. Adventure Comics with the new Supergirl, number 399. She's sassing a football player for some reason. Adventure Comics, pretty beat up copy, number 422. Supergirl being held by a robot, a la ripoff of, King Kong. Adventure Comics with Supergirl, number 423. Superman's a traitor, the usual. Adventure Comics 424, with us almost seeing up Supergirl's skirt. Adventure Comics 383, with Supergirl interrupting her own funeral. Adventure Comics 395, with Supergirl versus a thought beast ghost in a haunted house. Adventure Comics 396, Supergirl being readopted. A very beat-up copy of Adventure Comics 397 with a bunch of different designs for Supergirl. finally, the new Adventure Comics without Supergirl, number 495. The all new Adventure Comics 426 with Vigilante. Adventure Comics 429 with a Black Orchid. I don't think I have her first appearance. Adventure Comics 430 with more Black Orchid. A very ratty copy of Adventure Comics 431 with the Spectre. Adventure Comics 432, more Spectre. Weird Adventure Comics number 433 with more Spectre. More Weird Adventure Comics, I actually don't know what the number is, it's been ripped off. And Adventure Comics 441 with Aquaman. People like him in the movie, right? Adventure Comics 467, the first Steve Ditko Starman. I've refused to get this out for 2 separate videos. I was supposed to show it in my first video for Jimmy C. I was supposed to show it in my recreation of my first video for Thanatos. Adventure 471 with no backboard, which means I probably got it for $1. Adventure Comics 472 with more Starman and Plastic Man action. And Adventure Comics 473 with more Plastic Man and Starman. Adventure 474, an Adventure Comics 80-page giant with a nice Wonder Woman cover. Adventures in Reading, starring the Amazing Spider-Man, number 1. Adventures in the DC Universe, number 2. Adventures in the DC Universe, number 3, with Wonder Woman and the Cheetah. Adventures in the DC Universe, number 5, with Martian Manhunter saving some people. Adventures in the DC Universe, number 6, with Aquaman with his hook hand. Adventures in the DC Universe number 10 with the Legion of Superheroes. Adventures in the DC Universe number 11 with Wonder Woman with a Green Lantern ring. Adventures in the DC Universe number 12 with the JLA in the clutches of Cypher. Adventures in the DC Universe number 13 starring Impulse and Martian Manhunter. Adventures in the DC Universe number 14, Superboy racing the Flash. Adventures in the DC Universe number 15, The Power of Shazam, Captain Marvel, with Aquaman. Adventures in the DC Universe Annual with Mr. Miracle, Dr. Fate, Rose and Thorn, Superboy, and Impulse. A somewhat ratty copy of Adventures into the Unknown from A+ Comics, but it's a Frazetta cover. The Adventures of Superman, number 429. Adventures of Superman 438. With Superman holding his ears because his hearing is so super that whatever, this happens all the time. Adventures of Superman 456 with, can't remember that guy's name. He bangs Lois Lane, that's all I remember. Adventures of Superman 459. Adventures of Superman 462. Homeless for the Holidays. Sounds like an action-adventure thrill ride. Adventures of Superman 472, Without Powers, which, again, it's like, he has too much power. He has no powers. Can they come up with something new? Action Comics 473 with corrupt Green Lanterns or something. Something's going on. Adventures of Superman 488, more Panic in the Sky. Adventures of Superman 497, Headbutting Doomsday. Adventures of Superman 498, the first part of Funeral for a Friend. Adventures of Superman 499, more Funeral for a Friend. Adventures of Superman 500, still in the poly bag. Adventures of Superman 501. Adventures of Superman 502, Superboy fights Supergirl. Adventures of Superman 503, Superboy fights Cyborg Superman. Adventures of Superman 504. Adventures of Superman 505. Mullet Superman's finally back. Adventures of Superman 506, Superman fighting Superboy. So Boy's like, this used to be my comic. Adventures of Superman 507 with more Bloodsport. Adventures of Superman 508 with the Challengers of the Unknown. Adventures of Superman 509 with Oron. I think he was a New Gods character or something like that they created later. Adventures of Superman 510 with a big Bizarro face. Adventures of Superman 511 with the Guardian. Adventures of Superman 512 fighting Parasite. Adventures of Superman 513, more action with the Guardian. Adventures of Superman 514 with the dead Lois Lane. Adventures of Superman 515. Adventures of Superman 516 with the Alpha Centurion. Adventures of Superman 517, part of the Dead Again storyline, which no one cared about. Adventures of Superman 518, Dark Side of the Force. I don't know what that's a reference to. Adventures of Superman 519, some Brainiac action. Adventures of Superman 520, some nothing cover that no one cares about. A bunch of characters no one cares about, you know. Adventures of Superman 521 with Thorn. Adventures of Superman 522, The Return of Metropolis. Adventures of Superman 523, Adventures of Superman 524. I think that's this last storyline with this character, even though I don't remember his name. Adventures of Superman 525, where he's kissing Lois Lane. How about, like, Wonder Woman or something? Adventures of Superman 526, I'm running out of battery. The Adventures of Superman 527, again with the Alpha Centaurion. Adventures of Superman 528, with various views of Superman from an alien POV. I guess that means point of view. Adventures of Superman 529, with all of the Superman allies. Can you tell I haven't read these in years? Adventures of Superman 529, I've got 2 copies for no reason. Adventures of Superman 530, with Bug Hunt. Adventures of Superman 531, more Superman allies, but with Superman, with longer hair. At this point, it's not even a mullet, it's just long hair. Adventures of Superman 532, with old love, Lori Lomaris. Adventures of Superman 546, the Electric Blue Superman, or as I like to call him, Blooper Man. Superman 460, with some fourth wall breaking because Superman's on a comic book page, but Superman's such a square. Unlike Deadpool, Deadpool comes out of the comic and knows that you're reading it. Superman's still on the page in the comic. Adventures of Superman Annual number 3, with Superman smooching it up with Maxima, I think that's her name. The Age of Heroes number 1. I think this has, yeah, it's art by John Ridgway. No one cares. Air Fighter Classics number, Lord knows. Air Raiders number 3. Some sort of action figure tie-in. Albedo Anthropomorphos number 11. Alien Legion. Larry Stroman, I think, does that. Aliens number 2, the first series. It's a great series from what I remember. Aliens number 2 from the second series. I guess I didn't very carefully collect Aliens. Aliens Earth War number 1 of 4. Nice Sam Keith art in that one, I think. Aliens Earth War number 2, a great cover by John Bolton. Aliens Earth War number 3, again, that's a John Bolton cover. Aliens Earth War number 4, I guess I have the whole series. Aliens Hive with a nice Kelly Jones cover. Aliens Hive number 3 of 4, more Kelly Jones. Aliens Hive number 4 of 4, still more Kelly Jones, doing his best Sam Keith impression, I guess. Aliens Mondo Pest. Aliens Mondo Heat. A continuation of one-shots or something. Aliens Alchemy. Aliens Havoc. I think these are all one-shots. Aliens Kidnapped, number 1 of 3. I think that's Jim Woodring. Yeah, it is. Aliens Kidnapped number 2. Jim Woodring did a bunch of writing for Dark Horse, basically as a payday, but they're great stories from what I hear. I don't think I've ever read them. I know I own them. I own them, and I own the Jabba the Hutt stuff. I don't think I've ever read them. Aliens Kidnapped number 3. Aliens Labyrinth number 1, also by Jim Woodring. Aliens Labyrinth number 2. Jim Woodring does Frank, for any of you indie fans out there. Aliens Labyrinth number 3. And I guess I don't have the complete series of Aliens Labyrinth. Here's All American Sports number 1, but it's a little beat up. Here's All-Star Comics number 72. All-Star Comics number 74. It's got Power Girl, but without her cleavage window. They just gave her a low-cut top. All-Star Squadron number 2. I have number 1 upstairs somewhere. All-Star Squadron number 3. All-Star Squadron number 4. More All-Star action. All-Star Squadron number 5. All-Star Squadron number 6. I think this is the rest of the box. All-Star Squadron number 7, another Joe Kubert cover. All-Star Squadron number 8, All-Star Squadron number 9. Steel fighting Robot Man? Is that guy's name? All-Star Squadron number 10. All-Star 11. Come on. Come on. All-Star number 12. All-Star Squadron. Oh, that's a nice cover by Joe Kubert. Number 13. All-Star Squadron number 15. Superman fighting Superman. It's Pandemonium. All-Star Squadron number 16. All-Star Squadron number 17. All-Star Squadron number 18. All-Star Squadron number 19. All-Star Squadron number 20. All-Star Squadron number 21. All-Star Squadron 22. Damn you, Roy Thomas. All-Star Squadron number 23 with Amazing Man. All-Star Squadron 24. Ooh, Batman. All-Star Squadron 26. All-Star Squadron 29. Oh my god, I missed some. All-Star Squadron 33. A ratty copy of All-Star Squadron 43. I don't know why that's so ratty. All-Star Squadron number 50. A Crisis on Infinite Earths issue. All-Star Squadron 52 with a nice Captain Marvel cover. All-Star 53 stuck together with All-Star 55. And then finally All-Star 59. So thank you to Nighttiger Comics. Thank you for this contest. I'll have your link in the description and at the end of the video. And as we've very gradually gone through this box, you may have noticed the black marks on top of the books. That's because my dealer would take a marker and run it down the 50-cent books just to make sure he knew which books were 50-cent books. So you know how many of these books are actually 50 centers